Station YouTube, I hope everybody is doing well, both physically as well as mentally. Wow. So here we are. October is done. Fall is quickly coming to an end. And I need to go through the books that I picked up in October. Quite surprised by the number of books. I don't know why I'm still surprised. By a lot of comic books. Interesting. So let's get into it. Let's roll the intro like we're not supposed to do on YouTube, but it's all good. It's all good. All right, let's do it. Taki's Tales. All right, so we're going to start off this monthly haul with my lone G.I. Joe comic book for October. G.I. Joe number 27, I believe. This is the second print. So not a lot of action on G.I. Joe. Not a lot of action locally, so I pretty much have to buy by mail. All right, so we have our lone Zatanna cover for October. Batman, the Brave and the Bold, number 12. Got this for a steal. Was so happy to add it to my collection. Not a great cover, though. Not a great Zatanna cover. I've seen Zatanna look way better than that on the cover. So we have World's Finest, 192. Now, something happens, according to John Ridley, Milwaukee native like myself. He's the writer of the I Am Batman series. He did a short story for Superman Red and Blue. Something happens to Superman in this camp, and if you know, you know. Interesting read too. And then we have Whiz Kids catalog number 68, 2001. We got Alec and Shayna kicking it again. No heroes this time. Was happy to pick that up. Forgot to take the price tag off. It was actually a $1 book. I think I forgot to take the price tag off the last one. Prepping these books, man, takes a long time. I miss a lot of stuff. So we got The Death of Doctor Strange, Bloodstone. This was a hot book earlier this year. Found it for less than, I think I got this for half off cover. All right, cool. We have Annihilators, number 1 of 4. We got the Beta Ray Bill right here. Another number 2. So this is another book to the Beta Ray Bill collection. We have number 3. So Beta Ray Bill collection, but he's not on the cover, unfortunately. And there he is on number 4. So I was glad to pick up that run. And then we have Annihilators Earthfall number 2. And there's Beta Ray right there. Alright, so here we go with the True Believers. We have All New Wolverine number 1. I was surprised I didn't have this one, but finally picked it up. We have The Amazing Spider-Man, The Dark Kingdom. We have Deadpool, the musical. And wrapping things up, this is a duplicate copy, but I wasn't going to pass it up for 50 cents. That should probably be in $1. I don't know. So we got True Believers, King in Black, Beta Ray Bill, The Mighty Thor reprint of its first appearance. Alright, so here comes the amalgam pickups for the month. We have DC vs. Marvel number 1, DC vs. Marvel number 2, DC vs. Marvel number 3, DC vs. Marvel number 4. Shocked that I was able to complete that whole run that quick, and it happened just like that. And that was the second time I had a chance to get that run in October. I missed out on the first chance, so that surprised me. So we got DC Marvel All Access number 1. That's it for the amalgam. On to the milestone books for the month. We got Blood Syndicate number 27, Blood Syndicate number 30, Blood Syndicate number 31, and the last issue of Blood Syndicate from the 90s. Not this last run that this came out this year, but from the 90s. We got Blood Syndicate number 35, Bane, You're Dead. Okay. Here we have The World Needs Heroes number 3. And then here comes the Hardware books. We got Hardware number 45, Hardware 46, Hardware 48, and finally, to wrap things up for milestone for this month, we have Shadow Cabinet number 16. Now, there will be some additional milestone books that I picked up, and you'll see those in a Death by Dollar Bin episode coming up soon for October. Here we start off with the Flashpoint books for the month. We have Booster Gold number 45, second print. Project Superman number 1, Project Superman number 2, and Project Superman number 3. A lot more Flashpoint books coming up in a future episode of Death by Dollar Bin. You should check out Death by Dollar Bin. It's a pretty cool show where I show books that I kind of found in the dollar bin. Some of them, most of them are $1. A couple of them are a little bit more, but yeah, it's a cool show. All right, so we have our lone Jenny Frison cover. Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to put these in the monthly. Oh, yeah, it's all good. So you won't be seeing Shade Changing Girl. I think this is a one and done, but a beautiful Jenny Frison cover, rocking the purples. Have her submerged in like some purple goo or something. We got the orange, yeah. I mean, and doesn't look like Jenny Frison to me though. If you know how Jenny Frison looks, it doesn't look like her to me. Anyway, oh man, I was supposed to censor this. Okay, Frank Cho cover. Quickly pass that up, and then we got the Santos Sisters number 1, great book, and we have Superman and Thundercats number 1. Okay, rounding third, heading home here. We're gonna close out here with man, I see the Biggie Shack banner of the month. Okay, all right, calm down. All right, so we're going to close out here with the hip-hop variants. We got All New Guardians of the Galaxy number 1. This is that homage to that Goody Mob album. And then we have Guardians of the Galaxy. Just plain Guardians of the Galaxy number 1. Don't remember what this is an homage to. It's escaping me. This is Iceman number 1. Yeah, again, I didn't know this album existed. Yeah, it came out after I stopped listening to, I was too busy listening to the stuff I love, the hip hop I love. Not to say that it's bad or anything, that this is an album, it's an homage to, but I just, yeah. And then this is an album. So we got Uncanny Inhumans number 1. Aquemini, man, let me tell you about Aquemini, man. We could be sitting here all night talking about Aquemini. So the Outcast album. So yeah. So why I was missing out on these 3? Well, I kind of heard that Goody Mob one. I was all up in the Aquemini. Okay. So I heard that there was some drama with Peach Momoko, New York Comic Con exclusive, and it reminded me of a book that was really hard to get a couple years ago, so I just picked it up. No skin off my back, real easy peasy. Need to change that out, throw it into a Mylar. So this isn't something I thought it still amazes me that I still find books that I completely, you would think I would have been all on this, but I wasn't. So we got Malcolm X number 1 from Zone Productions. There's only 1,000 of these out there. I got number 729. I really wanted that 786, so maybe I'll find it one day. Yeah, really cool artwork. It's more of a bio. It's not a real it's more of a bio comic book, and the art isn't there's not I don't think, from what I recall, there aren't panels and things like that. So this is a Blame Sleepy Reader Damien book here, The Hero Comics. So this is a reprint of Blue Beetle number 5, I believe. So this is the Hero Comics number 29. I think this came out a couple years ago. And it basically, they focus on Steve Ditko books. I love this book. This book is awesome. I could do a whole review on it, and I probably will at some point. Awesome book. I love this stuff. So it basically goes back. It talks about, Steve Ditko working on the Blue Beetle and some of his other Charlton action hero comics that he was working on. Has some original artwork in there, original design work for Blue Beetle. This is awesome. And then they kind of, people go back and they talk about the good old days. Not necessarily the good, not that these aren't good old days, but you know what I'm saying. All right, so here we go. X23, number 1. I believe this is cover B. Yeah, it's been a couple weeks since I picked this up. Can't remember exactly which one it was, but it was one of them that I did not have. We have X23 number 18, X23 number 19, X23 number 20, The Great Marjorie Lau series. This is volume 3 of X23. Then All New Wolverine was, I guess you could say, volume 4, even though it's probably considered its own volume. And then I can't remember the name of the writer for the series that was out in around 2019, 2020, the X23 series there. But here we go with the Biggie Shack Banner of the month. It is X23 number 15, cover B. A book that I was chasing for a while, and finally it just, kind of popped up. And let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you. Okay. So not only did this book pop up, the whole run, all the variant covers, all of them. So I got to see the whole run. Unfortunately, it wasn't mine. Unfortunately, I didn't have the money to buy the whole thing because that is expensive. Some of those, that Del Auto, man, it's expensive. And there's a couple covers on there. I'm just like, okay, you know what? I mean, there's a couple books with those, retailer exclusive covers. And I'm just like, it's not worth it to me. Even though I love the run, I'm done, man. I have all the books in the run. I have the retailer exclusives that I like. I'm done with the Lau version. Now it's time to read it again. And hopefully, I think I'm going to like it even more the second time I read it. So, that is it for the Biggie Shack Banner of the months. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm going to try to, focus more or less. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, I have some, what am I trying to say? Some conflicted feelings about the monthly haul. It's kind of, it's a pain in the ass to produce, in all honesty. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at books that I picked up like at the beginning of October. Can't remember, I'm trying to remember. It's like, oh, did I pick this up this month or was this September? And then if it was in September, was it in the September haul video? It just, there's a lot. And I don't know. I might, the monthly haul is kind of branched out. It's turned into Death by Dollar Bin. It's turned into Finally Frozen. I got enough stuff. I got enough material. I got more material for the library videos than I have time to read. So I'm working on that. But, I like to review the books that I read. I read Stray Dogs number 1 that you'll never see, because I returned it before I had a chance. I had to return it before I had a chance to actually film it. Basically, okay, like a C plus book. It's like, Marvel Chillers. I think Marvel Chillers is a little bit better than Stray Dogs, in all honesty. I think that they had a really nice hook. I think it was executed. A plus for execution. But it wasn't worth all the hype. That is, there's, and this is the crazy thing when it comes to speculation here. I need to cut this short. I don't want to go into a big digression, but at the end of the day, who's really going to be buying these books? Why are you investing all, quote unquote, investing all this money? Who's buying them? Like, seriously, you think well, there aren't any more house mother, whatever the hell they were, housewives. They're saving the grocery money to go out there and get a Stray Dogs number 1 so they could have the first appearance, because when it's on Disney, it's not going to be on Disney. They already announced I don't remember what the name of the company is. In good luck on it seeing the light of day. For the actual property to get produced into a TV show, good luck for it to get mass appeal. And there's only been one character since I've been collecting comics. I'm talking about this time around, not going all the way back to the 90s, but there's only one character that crossed over to the point where you can say, well, the common person on the street is going to buy it. That's Miles Morales. And, I don't know, there's a lot of, speculation on why that popped. But October, I'm going somewhere else now. October celebrated my 4 years back collecting. So the biggest thing I would take away from this year is that the ocean is always blue. What do I mean by that? What do I mean? Man, it's always a good time to buy comics if you like prioritize and, you know, kind of figure out where things are going, and when it's a good time to buy a book and you have multiple books, it's always a good time. And that's it's just, you know, I mean, at this point I'm done with my collection, in all honesty. I mean, I'm not gonna stop collecting, that's not what I mean, but man, it's like, you know, you're in a catch-22 here. And I guess, you know, that's another thing that would surprise me, is how fastly I was able to pretty much, like 80%, no more than that. I would say like 90% of my collection is done. And I was able to put that all together in 4 years. That surprises me. And the space it takes up. And now I have to really get into it and say, okay, what books do I really want and what books don't I want? And then I have to find a way to liquidate them. Which, you know, I'm going to end it on this controversial note. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hitting the algorithm. Let me know what you think in the comments here, guys. I think the recycle bin is a viable option. You know, as a key collector, as a collector, you know, basically I'm reducing the amount that are actually out there, helping prop up the value of the books, rather than, you know, I could take them to not mycomicshop.com, but, you know, one of the shops I go to that buys books, get like 10 cents a book, maybe, you know, for some of, I'm talking about the ones that aren't, stuff that just needs to get bulked out, basically. So basically all I'm giving it to him to do is to bulk it out. And still, he's going to sell it for pennies on the dollar. So what do you think I get? You know, he wants to make 10 cents on a book. Maybe he'll give me a nickel a book. And I'm not going to go off and start talking about hot FOC books. Oh man, top 10 FOC. 2 years later, you know, they're worth like $1. And that's the hot FOC books. We're not talking about Gideon Falls number 17, you know, and how those books all, you know, at some point end up in the dollar bin, you know. And I'm running across books, man, I picked up some, and you'll see this in maybe you'll see it in November, probably see it in December. I picked up some Mr. Miracle, Tom King Mr. Miracle books in the dollar bin. In the dollar bin. That was like such a hot commodity when I first came back to collecting. I don't want to tell you what I paid for some of them that I found in the half-price books. But no, I like these books that I found were ones I didn't have in my collection, and they were in mycomicshop.com's dollar bin. But there's gonna be some, hopefully soon, you'll get to see some of the dollar bin pickups for October. The shop that I go to most often, Vortex Comics. You hear me say it all the time. Vortex Comics, West Dallas, Wisconsin, right outside of Milwaukee. It's pretty much in Milwaukee. Don't believe the hype. But, you know, they have probably more than 100 short boxes full of dollar books. Over 100 dollar bins. October, December, and May, half off, 50 cents a piece. And when you see what I pulled out of those dollar bins, you're going to want to get a time machine. Go back in time, find me, and slap me and be like, man, what's wrong with you? Go get those books for $1. Why are you waiting for them to be 50 cents? And I was like, man, I don't know why I wasn't looking here before. So, all right, guys, so that's it for this time. Thank you so much for watching. As always, the intro is by Mo Media. Got some new intros coming soon. And the music is by LS Beats. And you know who I roll with. I roll with the PCP Army Bad Batch. A successful horror fest this year. 2-month-long extravaganza. So, congrats to Rock and Robbie. Congrats to everybody that participated in that. Make sure you check the show notes out if you're looking for comic book content. You're looking for new comic book content, we have you covered. You're looking for hauls, we got you covered. You're looking, you know, if you're trying to figure out what covers you need to focus on, we got you covered. Literally, Phable's got you covered. So, all right, y'all. Until next time, take it easy. Peace!